The creature then grunts and groans, standing up, shirtless. It then looks in the mirror, horrified at what it sees, its own reflection. Undoing some more restraints on it, it hobbles over and looks at Frankenstein's cloak. Sort of knowing what to do with it, he grabs it and puts it on, and then walks around the lab as Victor sleeps. He then sees the creature as he opens his eyes, horrified and rejecting the creature. Get out! Get out of here! I banish you! Leave! You abomination! The creature then runs out and jumps out the window, fleeing Frankenstein. Igor comes into the room saying, "What is going on, Dr. Frankenstein?" Nothing. Nothing. We need to dismantle the equipment. Do you want to destroy it, given that, well, that you regret your choice? No. There was a lot of money that went into investing in that. We need to at least keep it. And what about the creature? It won't last out there. Probably doesn't even have any brain function. But we also must get rid of my journal. As Frankenstein then goes to retrieve it, he notices his cloak is gone, but then remembers that the creature was wearing it, saying, "It's just as good as gone as the creature is." You think it will live out there? I don't know. But it is a failed experiment regardless, said Victor. The creature then walks through the town in quarantine, hiding with a hood over it and avoiding eye contact with people. It then jumps onto a wagon with dead bodies as it is wheeled out of the town and dumped, ready to be burnt. The creature then gets up and walks away as it stumbles into the woods, making its way deep into the forest. The creature looks around, seeing animals, a bird sitting on his finger, and other wildlife. The creature is fascinated by this, and at one point is feeling hungry. It grabs a bird and eats it whole as it nourishes it. The creature, with stitches all over its face and bits and pieces all over, a big hulking monster, he then looks in the water at his reflection, just looking and grunting to itself, with bolts in the forehead and other places. Grunting to itself. The creature then walks on through the woods and eventually sees a cottage where there is a family living, with a mother, a father and 2 children and an old man that's blind. The creature observes and looks at them and sees that the mother, through the window, is educating the daughter, writing out a word, saying, "You see, words, dear, are like a clog, and each cog moves to replicate a word, like this here. Friend, friend, that's right, dear. I'm your friend, your father's your friend, your brother's your friend, and your grandfather's your friend. Friend, friend, yes." The creature then looks and mutters to itself as it says, "Friend, friend." The creature observes the family from afar, noticing that they're struggling with crops and that they don't have much resources to provide. The father saying, "It's going to be a tough winter if we can't plough our crops." "We'll find a way," says the woman. "We can only hope for a miracle." The creature then looks at the plough and knows what it could be used for, as it's observed already a lot of the family's actions. The next morning, the family awaken to find that all the crops have been pulled from the ground and everything that they needed to do with their chores is done. Thinking that this was a blessing from God, they decide to make the best of it. The creature, feeling some good in itself, feeling it did something good, and would watch the family for months on end as it would slowly observe and educate itself, even reaching into the pocket of the cloak that he wears. Seeing Frankenstein's journal, he opens it and then starts to observe and starts to work out words in it, saying, "Victor Victor Frankenstein." The creature then looks and studies the journal over and over again, learning of its existence. Meanwhile, Victor, after months of quarantine, can finally leave and returns home to his estate, where he's greeted by William, asking, "Brother, has Elizabeth—" "No, Victor, she hasn't. This is still her home, though. I must talk with her." Victor then sees Elizabeth and says, "Elizabeth, oh, so you're back now, are you? Did the quarantine finally end?" "It did." "And did you do this experiment you had to put first?" "Yes, and I should never have done it to start with. It was a huge mistake." "I should have put you before anything, and I'm sorry, Elizabeth. I love you." "You love me?" "Yes. And I will spend the rest of my life, if I have to win back your affection. Because I love you, Elizabeth. And I would love to be your husband, if you'd let me." "Well, you can start by making up, by telling me how you got through the quarantine." Victor's father comes in saying, "Son, there's a man with a hunchback that says you employed him." "Oh, yes, let him in. This is Igor. He assisted me in my experiments and, well, was good company during the quarantine. He was extremely helpful to me, and all he had to do was, well, dig graves and bury people. I thought he could work the house along with the servants. He's very hard-working." "Yes, despite my disformities, I do like to have proper purpose in life, and Dr. Frankenstein here was a good friend throughout the whole thing." "I see. Well, welcome to House of Frankenstein, Mr. Igor," says Victor's father. In William's room, he sits with his fiancée Justine as she asks, "So Victor returned and he won't tell you what he was there for, only that he brought back a man with a hunchback?" "Yes, I know, it's strange, but Whatever Victor had ambitions for, he seems to have completely done away with it. Maybe he did find what he was looking for, maybe he didn't, but still, my brother is back now, and he hopes to marry Elizabeth. Still, I can't wait to be wedded to you, my love. I know, William, as they kiss. The creature, observing the family, sees that they all go out to market one day, except for the old man who is blind. The creature walks around and grabs a chicken as he takes it away to eat it, as he has been living off the livestock. Not so much, but just enough so he can get by and the family don't notice. Oh, this time, the blind man calls out saying, "Who goes there?" "Oh, who is that?" Friend? Friend? Are you the one who's been a miracle worker? Friend. Yes. You seem to have trouble with speaking. Come on in, friend. The blind man shows the creature into the house where he sits and offers him a seat, saying, "So, can you speak?" I speak and I read. Ah, you have trouble speaking as I do seeing. You know, I've always prayed to the Lord for a friend. Maybe my prayers have been answered. Tell me, who are you exactly? All I know is that I am experiment. An experiment? Don't you have a family or a home or anywhere to go? No. I don't have any family. Oh dear, that's a shame. May I see you with my hands? Yes, just let me. The creature then allows the blind man to touch his face as he feels stitches and other materials around him. Oh, good gosh, you poor creature, what happened to you, my friend? I was born like this. People are afraid of me. They run away. Oh, that's because they don't know you. Look. Here. Do you know the Bible? See? I cannot read it, but I have my son or my son's wife to read it to me. Also, do you like music? Music? Yes, see, I have this here. It's called a recorder. The blind man plays it, saying, "It's quite easy to learn. Why don't you have a try?" Try. He then blows into it, but has a bit of struggling understanding it. You'll learn how to do it in the end. It's so nice to actually talk to someone who feels lonely. Yes, but I have a friend now. I guess you do, yes. The family then return home, shocked and horrified to see the creature They then scream, and the creature, frightening of them himself, he then flees, jumping through the back door and leaving. The blind man trying to explain that he is friendly, he's a friend. Then the man saying, "Father, he is not a friend, he is a monster. What the hell is it doing in here? We need to get out of here. We need to leave this place now." The creature then sits in the forest with the Bible in his hand. He weeps and cries, and then places the Bible in the other cloak pocket and returns to the cottage, only to find it abandoned and no one there. Seeing that the family left in a hurry and that they were scared of him, the creature was sad, but then he started to feel anger, frustration. He then looks in the journal again and says, "Victor Frankenstein, I'll get you." Then the creature sets the cottage ablaze, lighting it on fire. As he watches it burn, he reads the Bible as well and starts to learn a few more things, and then closes the book, saying, "I will have my revenge. Victor Frankenstein." Back at Frankenstein Manor, Victor and Elizabeth witness the wedding of William Frankenstein and his now wife Justine. Watching the wedding, Victor then says, "We should have done this a lot sooner. If you hadn't stayed in Geneva, you could have, I know. But during my time away, I realized I was a fool. And I love you, Elizabeth, and I want to marry you." Then, taking Frankenstein's hand, she then says, "I think I've made you feel guilty long enough, and you've said all your sorries. I will marry you, but let's enjoy the day, as this is for, well, your brother William and Justine." Of course, of course." Victor, almost forgetting his experiment, unaware of the creature that he created, was making his way to Frankenstein. As it walked on over the mountain in the snow, he then looks in the diary, seeing where Frankenstein lives and studying it hard, as he also reads the Bible over and over again, learning about Christianity, thinking, man is God's children, but me, what am I? Merely then a child of man. The creature then makes his way down the mountain and into the woods, where he walks on into the woodlands, where he then makes his way to the village, where he hears locals talk about the Frankenstein family, then saying, "You know the Frankensteins?" "Yes, sir, we know of them. Why?" "Why are you hiding your face?" "You won't find my appearance pleasing. Just tell me where they are." "Well, they live at Frankenstein Manor. Not that a lot of us go there. I mean, one man does to do some deliveries to the family, but yeah, they're quite a wealthy estate. What's your business with them?" "Let's just say I have a bone to pick with Victor Frankenstein." During a hunt where Victor, William, his father, and a few other house staff go out into the woods to hunt for their evening meal, they all split up into the woods where they look for wild boar or deer, anything that they can take back to cook and eat. William and and Victor talk amongst each other, and then William says, How about we split? Meet here in about an hour." "Sounds good to me, brother. Good luck. You too." William then walks with a rifle. He then hears music playing from a recorder. Going up to it with his rifle, he then sees the creature, the back of the creature in a tall robe, hiding his look, saying, "Can I help you?" "Huh? I'm afraid this is private land and you need to leave." "My apologies. I was looking for Victor Frankenstein." "You know my brother?" said William. "Your brother?" The creature then turns around, and then William looks in horror, saying, "Good Lord! What in God's creation are you?" "I'm not a creation of God. I'm a creation of man. Your brother, to be exact." William then fires his rifle, but it does not harm the creature as the bullet doesn't penetrate. Then the creature then takes the gun and breaks it, and then grabs William and strangles him, killing him. Victor then says to his father, "Did you hear guns go off?" "I did." "Where's your brother?" "I don't know." "William?" They then go looking for him, but are unable to find him. Wondering where he is, Justine is informed that William went missing during the hunt and wonders where he could be. As the night draws in, people continue to look for William. Then, as Justine hears something outside, she goes to look, and then calls out, "Is there anybody there?" Then that is when she looks in horror as she sees William disemboweled and hanging from a tree outside. As she's about to let out a scream, the creature puts his hand over her and tells her to not scream. Then, struggling, she manages to get out of the creature's restraints, but then sees the creature and screams in great horror before dropping dead from shock. Then, as the house staff and Victor hear the commotion, Victor is then horrified to see his brother's body hanging from a tree disemboweled. He then sees Elizabeth and his father coming out, quickly turning Elizabeth away and his father, however, his father wanting to look. He then screams in terror as he sees his son hanging from a tree and his insides hanging out. Then, as the authorities come, they find it bizarre and wonder who could have such a hatred for the Frankenstein estate that they would commit brutal crimes like this. Asking how Justine had died, it was seemed she died of fright from a heart attack. Whatever she saw was truly horrifying to her. As Victor then sees the authorities off the estate, everyone returns back to the manor. As Frankenstein looks around, wondering who could have done this. I won't rest until I find who's responsible. Then, as he turns around, a big hand is placed on his shoulder. As Victor turns around, he then looks in horror and sees the creature then saying, "Meet me in the forest. By tomorrow, you'll see a fire burning. Come alone by the early hours at dawn." The creature then turns around and runs back into the forest. As Victor then looks in horror and denial and starts to have flashbacks of that night, the night of his experiment. Then he is approached by Igor, who then says, "Victor, is everything all right? You look even more in shock than you did before. It must not be a pleasant thing to see your brother's body hanging and your sister-in-law, well, to be dead all of a sudden. Igor, you don't understand." As he stutters and shakes in fear, Igor says, "Sir, calm down. Tell me, what is it?" "The creature. The thing we made. Or at least the thing you assisted me in. It's not dead." "What?" "It is not dead. It's out there. I've just seen it. I think he killed William and scared Justine to death." "What?" "Yes. The creature. He's out there. And he wants me to meet him alone." "And are you?" "Yes. I'll find out what it wants and then I'll kill it."
as it's killed two people that I truly love and care about. I have to finish what I started all those months ago.